Okay, you ready? This one's gonna be a little fast, so lean in. There's a word in German, Zeitgeist, and it means the spirit of a time. And it's that slash that sits between before and after. And we spend a lot of our lives thinking about that time because there's the infinite before us and there's the infinite after us. And you know, that moment, I'm not an anthropologist by any stretch of the imagination, but I firmly believe that most generations think that they are experiencing a once-in-a-species transformation. The idea that what is happening right now is more important than everything that has ever happened before and may ever happen after that, right? So we've been around for about 200,000 years. And for most of that time, the fastest we could go was about 10 miles an hour. And then we mounted horses, and that got us up to 30 miles an hour. And then all the way until the 19th century, we mechanized transportation. That got us up to 100 miles an hour. And then in 1947, we broke the sound barrier. And then in 1969, humans went 24,000 miles per hour on the way back from the moon, right? That's an incredible pace of change. 200,000 years of going basically the same speed. And then over the course of a measly 200 years, we went from there to Mach 37. This is incredible. I had to make a graph to demonstrate how fast this pace of change is. It's incredible, right? Very scientific. So 100 years ago, Americans were going into lots of debt for this brand new contraption called the vacuum. Now, my vacuum cleans my floor before I even wake up every single morning, right? 100 years ago is not that long ago. For instance, consider the fact that Joe Biden was born closer to Abraham Lincoln's presidency than his own, right? This is not ancient history. So this is Flight Simulator demonstrating San Francisco. This on the left is from 1984. This wireframe was amazing to see, right? And now, 40 years later, that is Flight Simulator now of San Francisco. It basically looks like a photo, right? That's 40 years of transformation. When I was a kid, we had Mario. And I couldn't believe that a generation before me was amazed by Pong, right? That's so quaint. And now, video games are basically just a series of photos. Like, that's incredible. Again, this is just 50 years. And when you think about this, like, this is the kind of change of pace that we're all sort of accustomed to. 200 years of speed, 50 years of computational advancements. But what I don't think we are prepared for is the change that's coming to video. So I'm a video producer by trade. I've been in this field for about 20 years. And every day when I go into work, I use tools that just a year ago, I would have considered to be science fiction. So only 10 months ago, I asked AI for the first time to make me an image. And this was a cat as a doctor, as a Frida Kahlo painting, right? It's amazing. I thought this was the pinnacle of computing. And it took natural language and made this, right? Incredible. Until 6 weeks ago, I asked AI to take a video of me and translate it into French. My face, my voice, my lips, everything into French. And it did this amazing job. There's a hidden joke in there. It's an amazing job. And that's equal parts incredible and terrifying, right? That's the correct response to this. Whew, these go fast. So I think that we're all aware that we shouldn't trust everything that we see online. But what happens when what's out there, what's fake, is so deceptive that even the most discerning minds and skeptical people among us can't tell the difference? So we all know somebody on social media, unless it's you, of course, but we all know somebody on social media that shares clearly fake images, right? I pulled this directly off my own Facebook feed. Like, it's kind of entertaining that people thought this was real, but there's always sort of been this implied firewall that video is truth, right? And I don't think that that's going to last much longer. So, and barring any legislation, it's going to become so easy and cheap and fast to generate fake video. And you saw this over this past year where the writers and the actors both went on strike to make sure that they even have a part in productions going forward, which is a very smart move. Because it used to take an entire team to film and develop and edit film. And then video came along and made that much cheaper and spread out productions. And then YouTube came along and made it so anybody can share their video with the world, which is incredible. It democratized that voice. And now with TikTok, it's basically friction-free to edit and publish something to anybody on the planet. But there was always this, you couldn't make, unless you had millions of dollars to send on every single pixel, you couldn't make fake video. And here's Peter Cushing. One of these is fake, one of these is real. I'll let you try and figure out which one is which. But this is a real production. But this is coming to all of video soon. So the way I like to think about this is in terms of 2030, because just like these slides auto-advancing behind me, we have no control over the advance of the future coming towards us, right? It's gonna happen whether we want to or not. And 2030 sounds far away from now, but consider the fact that, yes, it may have flying cars and universal healthcare, but it is closer to today than the 2016 election, which doesn't feel that far ago, right? And by 2030, the first thing you're gonna check when you look at a video is the upload date. Because if you're seeing me from 2023, right, there's a good chance I'm real. You might be watching me on YouTube right now. But if the video's from 2028, all bets are off. By then, I can re-upload this video where I'm 6'3" and this is Madison Square Garden. So the zeitgeist of right now is we are on the precipice of all of this changing and seeing this kind of transformation, not in 40 years, but in 12 months. And maybe that gets faster. And I don't know if we're ready for that in the video space. So I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say I know exactly what's going to happen in video. I would be a fool to even speculate. But I do think that there is a very good chance that it's going to come faster and hit us harder than we are ready to deal with. But I do want to leave you on a positive note. I think that a consequence of all of this happening is that this, getting together, seeing each other, this eyewitness version of each other is going to become more important than potentially at any other point in all of our 200,000 years. And that pendulum is going to swing so hard from the digital experience, and that may not necessarily be a bad thing. Thank you.